Joining us now are NBC News senior national politics reporter John Allen and senior political correspondent for The Hill, Amy Parnes. Both are authors of the new book, Fight Inside the Wildest Battle for the White House. We're going to come back to your book a little later this hour. But first, Amy, as we just talked about, there's been some mixed messaging here as President Trump says, maybe he's open to negotiation, but just about everyone else at the administration says that's not what this is about. There's no negotiating here. So which is it? And do you sense that there is wiggle room?
I've always thought that there was wiggle room, and so do my sources. They think that, Trump is very obsessed, obviously, with the optics of things. He doesn't like, obviously, what he's seeing right now. And I think that there is a little bit of wiggle room. And I think it's going to continue to get worse as Republican lawmakers field these concerns from their constituents and they go home for the Easter break and they hear that people are not happy with rising costs. Obviously, Trump campaigned on the economy. And if things continue to go sideways, that's not going to fare well for him.
I mean, that would make sense. But, John, they've also got this new Wall Street Journal poll that shows Americans were already souring on Trump's economic plans even before the tariffs hit. And the Washington Post reports that one White House official says Trump couldn't give a about the backlash. So could enough bad press actually get him to change his mind, to find that wiggle room, or do you expect the president to double down?
It's certainly possible. I mean, the question, I think, is the first question is how much pain are the American people willing to take on behalf of Donald Trump's vision for tariffs creating a better economy in the face of what we're seeing in the short term. As economists like to say, in the long run, we're all dead. But in the short term, what you're going to see here is prices going up as a result of the tariffs, and you're also going to see, as we see with the Dow crashing, you're going to see people having less money. So the combination of having less money and prices going up means people are less likely to buy things. It's a recipe for stagflation if it persists. And if the American public turns on Trump in severe fashion, I certainly could see him changing his tune.
And people buying fewer things could include, of course, Tesla trucks. John, you just heard Vaughn's report about this public feud between Elon Musk and Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, over tariffs. What is your take here? Is Musk talking more as a business owner than a special government employee? And could this cost him with Trump if he feels like he's going against what he really wants?
Yes, to your first question, he's absolutely talking as a businessman and not as a member of the Trump administration. What's so wild about that is he is a member of the Trump administration.
Right.
And this points to the basic, at least perception of a conflict of interest, and in this case, seemingly a conflict of interest between the economic plan that Trump is pursuing and the message that Elon Musk is sending. Now, is that something that might get resolved? Could he be sort of brought back in line with the messaging? That's possible. Or he could decide that he wants to go back and tend to his businesses instead of promoting an administration that is quite clearly hurting his business's bottom lines. But the wild, open fighting between these figures in the administration is something unusual, and I suspect it will persist as long as the tariffs seem to be causing economic harm.
Yeah, it's almost nostalgic. It reminds us of the first term. Amy, I want to ask you, President Trump also... Sorry, go ahead, John. What'd you say?
It's like the WWE. I mean, they're all in the same league, but one of them is the hero and one of them is the heel. And, they may switch around and throw each other on the mat a little bit. And I think Trump loves that entertainment at some level, but it will start to annoy him if it means that his message is being diluted and he is unable to sustain this tariff policy.
Okay, but Amy, to that point, what are some of the risks of having such a personality-driven president? Because I want to talk to you about this meeting he had with Laura Loomer, this far-right conspiracy theorist who apparently was able to walk into the Oval Office. I mean, here's what Trump had to say about that meeting.
So Laura Loomer is a very good patriot. She is a very strong person. And I saw her yesterday for a little while. She makes recommendations of things and people. And sometimes I listen to those recommendations like I do with everybody. I listen to everybody and then I make a decision.
I mean, he says Laura Loomer didn't play a role in these firings. Meanwhile, she took credit for it on social media. It's interesting because, Susie Wiles, the White House chief of staff, ran a really tight ship during the campaign and even during the transition was trying to keep this woman and other figures away from President Trump because they can have such an outsized influence. What does it say about this administration that there's kind of this object permanence role of, first of all, whoever is in favor at the moment or in front of him at the moment? And how is this individual able to get a meeting, get in the Oval Office, and overrule people Trump himself selected to be members of his cabinet?
Yeah, you're right. I think that's why you're seeing them sort of downplay. That's why he's downplaying this, because she isn't just an advisor or someone he's listening to. She's a conspiracy theorist, and a lot of people have issues with her views. And I think that Susie Wiles, obviously, as you mentioned, ran a very tight ship during the campaign, and I don't think she's going to stand for it. So I think that's why you're going to see, I think, the president distance himself from the statement or from her statements. And I think Susie Wiles will probably try to put an end to it as well.